What's going on, believers? It's your boy Rebalance with another live price example. Got one for you early today because I'm seeing the market setting up for most likely what is considered by my mentor ICT seek and destroy conditions, meaning there's not going to be any one clear direction, but there will be lots of volatility, which will induce new traders, those without discipline or rules, to chase price and get beat to sleep. And so I've already set it up as far as for my New York session model on the E-mini S&P. Also set up the dollar index. So those are going to be the two main charts I will be cycling through here. But I also, if you notice, if you watch it at a slower speed, you'll see I do check out the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones charts here and there as well. But my focus right now, currently where price is, what I was thinking was most likely that sell side is going to be engaged. Now, what price does once it gets there is going to be dependent on the price action that I see, as well as confluence with the dollar index. So that's why I tend to have that marked up as well with alerts set at its highs and lows so that I'm prepared without having to have it constantly on my chart. My main focus is a price action of the asset that I'm trading, but for confluence, right, I want to know what the dollar is doing. So that's where, I've talked about alerts before on the channel. I've actually showed examples of that, but that's where those alerts can come in handy. And now I don't have it marked up just yet, but for someone who's been keeping up, there is a 15-minute inefficiency. Boom, there it is right there. That I took a while to annotate, and the reason being was I wasn't really expecting price to not get to that low. With the news release that came out, a lot of volatility entered the marketplace, and so my expectation was that that low would be taken out rather quickly. But because it didn't, and it starts to stall, but also has much reason to stall, that blue shaded area is once again from the daily chart, right? That daily inefficiency that's been holding price up. So there's plenty of valid reason to believe for price to stall here or to even potentially rally from this area. It's already done it a couple of times, right? And so at this point, that low currently, right, that lowest low there on the 5 minute, what that looked like to me was a three drives pattern. So it had traded lower into sell side, right? Then took out that low and then took out that low. So there were three drives lower. And then what I'm looking for is if it's going to go much lower for the day, I would need to see that low get smoked, leaving some sort of, inefficiency, an open area between, the two candles that are to the left and to the right of the candle that takes that low out. And so that's pretty much what I'm thinking at this point. Not much else to really consider. The dollar is basically being held in consolidation, which I do mention that as well, or I type that in on the chart. And then also far to the left of the screen, just looking at the lowest low and the highest high, you can see there's that gray shaded tool over it. And so you notice at the top there's a 1, towards the middle there's 0.5, and then at the bottom there's a 0. So what that is just the range from yesterday morning, right? That low to high range from after yesterday dropped and the buy that I took, taking it back up to the top of that yellow shaded area. I'm just noticing how we've revisited the midpoint of that range. This is the third time now. So immediately after, right, we traded higher yesterday, we revisited it. Then we bounced higher from there, failed to take out that high and make it higher high. We traded lower, right? In the evening yesterday, revisited that midpoint, bounced again, right? Traded higher once more. And then since just early morning, we've traded lower and now we're back there. And so now this is the part where I'm typing in what I'm thinking about that low and how I was in their shoes before, right? I was a newbie. I was someone that had no fucking idea what I was doing. And so the excitement, the rush, the hope and the greed of right being able to make some quick money by just buying and selling these assets with the click of a button, well, buying, not really buying the assets, let me not say it like that, but buying the contracts, right? To basically wager that, hey, I believe it's going up, I believe it's going down, this is what I'm willing to risk, things like that, right? That's kind of how this business works. But so I'm taking note of that low and how it's most likely inducing those that don't know what they're doing to buy just based off the fact that yesterday and earlier, right, today and I believe last week as well on Friday that we've bought from this level. So it's like, hey, it's probably going to do it again. It's kind of looking like it's exhausted, is what some people like to talk, like to phrase when prices in these sorts of consolidations. Which to me, I don't believe there's a such thing as exhaustion because the price, in my opinion, is being delivered to liquidity. So in my opinion, when those things are happening, it's just engineering liquidity. There are a lot of people that are taking buys and sells within that range because it's at a place where it's 50-50. And I don't like taking 50-50 trades. They usually end very badly for me just because then emotions get involved in all type of crazy stuff. So this is the part where I'm mentioning right that midpoint, how we revisited it multiple times, and notice how we've traded into that pink shaded area, that M15, right, that 15-minute inefficiency. Now I'm stalking a trade setup at this point because the high of that candle currently was the high of that inefficiency, which is perfect. And so that was just letting me know, hey, it's at least respecting that area. Um, I want to take a short here, or at least in the vicinity. And so the brown line that's just above it that I placed at the opening price of that 15-minute candle, that's where I want my entry. And then the high of that candle that was the 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time when the news release came out, that's where I want my stop loss to be. Because I'm thinking if it breaks that high, there's no reason for it not to take out the high from, yesterday evening and then the two highs left yesterday. And what I had just typed up there was just that there's risk in live trading or in trading live funds. And so there's this function on TradingView called paper trading, which allows for risk-free practice trades. And so what I did was because I'm not liking the conditions that I'm seeing, I decided to take a paper trade because why would I risk anything that could actually do financial harm to me when I'm thinking to myself, hey, either it's 50-50 or it's a seek and destroy type of day where it's going to be very volatile and it's going to have characteristics of inducing people to chase price and then completely reverse on them and make them think, oh, okay, what's going that way? And then they're going to chase it again and then it's going to reverse on them again. And I've been there, done that enough times. I've had the pain of it, you know what I'm saying? I've learned from it, and that's the beauty of this business is those who are strong enough to take the pain, take those punches on the chin and learn from them and not be discouraged. I believe those are the ones that ultimately make it into the where the numbers are about skewed between 10 to lower than 5% of traders are actually profitable. So I'd argue that you have to factor in a lot of things about the individuals to qualify them in that, but that's just me, right? I'm different. But so that paper trade has been activated and it was looking like it was about to run towards that stop loss rather quickly. As you can see, that aggressive move, it blew through that 15-minute inefficiency and both of those brown lines that I have, which are going to be key levels for me of interest where I want to see how price reacts when they get there. But now I'm typing at the top about seek and destroy days. It's best to just walk away or study. But you do see that this trade idea was successful. TP smacked without it getting to stop loss. So shout out to believers. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.